Let's talk about safely transporting your motorcycle. This is the method I use. I start out with 2 hold-down straps, just like most of the other people out there, but I add 2 secondary straps just in case there's a primary strap failure. I include a cable lock just in case I have to leave my bike unattended. Keep your ramps from bouncing around with another strap. And finally, if I know I'm going across bumpy roads, a strap on the rear tire to keep it in place. This transportation method will definitely keep the bike in the truck, but it has a flaw. When the primary straps are tightened down, they pull down on the handlebars, which causes your front struts to fully compress. Doing this on a regular basis, you run the risk of damaging them. So, in this video, I'm going to build something to fix this problem. It's called a fork brace. You can actually buy these commercially, but I couldn't find one that was small enough for my bike. The solution? Build my own. Some of the benefits of a fork brace is reduce fork spring fatigue, reduces fork seal failures, and stabilizes the motorcycle for transport. The bike I'm building it for is a 2019 Yamaha TTR 230. Here are the rough dimensions of the brace. Okay, let's get started building this thing. First, I measured how high I'm going to have to cut a 2x4. Then I cut the 2x4 just a little bit longer, and I'll trim it to length later. Then, using a piece of paper, I figured out how big I'm going to make the bottom support brace. Transfer that information over to a piece of aluminum, then cut it out. Let's make sure we get rid of all the sharp edges on that aluminum. We're going to mark it so we can bend the aluminum plate around the tire. Let's head over to the vise and bend that aluminum. Or fail to bend the aluminum. What the hey? Then I remembered I actually built a metal bender. Let's use it. I actually snapped the first piece of aluminum I was trying to bend in half. I heated up my second try with a torch before bending it. It went much easier. Time to fit check my bends. So far, looks pretty good. Remove these 4 bolts on the bottom of the front fender so I can remove it. We're going to cut a groove into the 2x4 so that it can fit over this hump in the fender. I used a chop saw with a series of shallow cuts to make the groove. I'm going to cut some foam for the 2 places where it's going to be riding against the fender. This is some high-density foam I salvaged out of a shipping crate. It's wonderful stuff. Another wonderful product with many uses, vinyl tape. I'm going to trim the 2x4 to the width of the brackets. Also at this time is where you're going to trim the length of that 2x4. I want the strut to compress about 1 inch when I put on the straps. Using 2 flat round head screws, attach the bracket to the 2x4. Time for another fit check. That looks perfect, about 1 inch of compression. Now we need some stabilizing arms so this thing will stay in place when we're installing it. Remember the first piece of aluminum I broke? Cut it into 2 1-inch strips. Then clean it up so there's no sharp edges. Using the same screws you did with the other bracket, attach these strips to the front of your brace. Here we go, last fit check. Or so I thought. It seems my bottom brace has a riding condition. This is totally unacceptable. Let's fix it. First, I marked where my additional bends are going to be. Heat the metal up and head back over to your metal bender. This is now what the bottom brace looks like. And it's no longer riding on the struts. As a final step, I covered the entire thing in vinyl tape. I did mention earlier how much I like vinyl tape, didn't I? I mean, just look at my garage floor. Okay, now for the real final fit check. It actually stays in place so I can go put my straps on. I'm going to call this mission complete. Hey, thanks for watching.